Eric. Eric Handsome.
Let me try to see where that.
I love you.
I love you too. Let me see. What would you put in the sofa in our room as a bed, and this in our room as a bed?
Okay.
What do you think of it?
For right now, leave it as is.
All right.
My computer is acting up.
I'm sorry, baby. What's it doing?
It accidentally put you and off together.
It did what?
Put U, Y-O-U, and O-F together.
Okay.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm already a minute in. I didn't say anything until just now. Let's see what they say on Facebook after I'm done posting what I'm posting. Oh, you was talking about the tiny house?
Yeah.
Okay. When you said I liked it?
Yeah. I do like it.
Okay. Maybe we can get something like that for when if we ever move.
Right.
Or when we ever get a plot of land or something. You saw the last picture?
Yes. The plans or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I like that. And we could add to it too. We could add a top structure.
Yeah.
If need be.
Hey everyone. Sorry I didn't say much when I was coming on. I was fixing me and Eric's bed.
We don't have to go into details about
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get through El Famous Choice. Immortal Love Stories with Bite. Pride and Prejudice. And Sense and Sensibility. I'm doing one chapter from each book that I'm going to try to do. Yeah.
What's the matter?
The glue.
Oh.
I want to put the other RC cola in the
I will. I will just. I'll do that video, all right?
I have the video pointing this way.
Still, I'm not dressed, so I'm trying to stay still because I don't want to be caught on camera undressed.
Baby, it won't catch you if you go that
I'll
way.
Just stay put. I'll wait. I'll go chill it when you're done. All right.
All right. Let me see how many subscribers I have. I have 103.
Okay.
Ugh. I sprayed some perfume underneath my stomach,
Uh-huh.
and it hurt.
Well, yeah, baby, there's alcohol in perfume and it'll burn. I wish you wouldn't have done that, baby.
Yeah. My stupid butt, my stupid Glutamus Maximus had to find out the hard way. Okay? Okay. Let's start with Immortal Love Stories with Bite. It has different authors. Haunted Love by Cynthia LaLeach Smith. On my way to work, I passed the worn out white cottage where I lived as a kid. The windows are boarded up, so is the door. I expected it to be put up for auction. I expected it would go cheap. Nobody's moving to Spirit, Texas. Every year, the high school grads packed up and leave. One or two for college, the rest for jobs in bigger towns. And every other week, a crowd gathers at the funeral parlor to pay their respects to one of the old folks. Death is the most lucrative business in town. Lucrative business
That
in
means
town.
it makes a lot of money.
It seems like everyone dies or leaves, but I'm not going anywhere. Spirit is home. It's the little piece of the world that makes sense to me, which lately it's saying a lot. Cody, calls a bright female voice from behind me. I ignore her. I've been a talkative kind of guy. Cody Starker, exclaimed the teenager of the new mayor, the one who is going to turn the empty storefronts into antique shops and the abandoned houses into bed and breakfasts and offer Spirit a future again, or so or so he says. Wait, you please. I need to talk to you. I pause, turn. Did I say nobody moves here? The girl standing in front of me this evening is an exception to that rule. Last fall, Jenny Augustine and her folks arrived in Spirit after the bank foreclosed on their home in the Woodlands. Typically, you have to live in town for at least a year before running for office, but nobody else wanted the job, so the city council passed a waiver, and Mr. Augustine ran unopposed. My glare falls to Jenny's hand on my sleeve. She snatches it back. I don't believe we met before. I know who you are. I began walking again, glancing at her sideways. I asked, what do you want? I feel a faint flush of guilt when she blinks, startled. Well, Jenny begins again. Someone's cranky. Here's the deal. I'm going to handle ticket sales for you. Cool, huh? When I don't reply, she adds, at the theater, movies, tickets. For the first time in more than 50 years, the old Love Theater will open tonight at 8 p.m. After Uncle Dane's death, I sold off a third of his cattle, his antique gun, and his fishing boat to make the down payment. None of it was worth much, but neither is the old love. It's reassuring to have somewhere to be on the night to night basis, though, to have another purpose beyond satisfying my thirst, to have something else to think about besides the night I faced down my uncle for the last time. Bless you.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome. I kept going, trying to ignore how Jenny falls in step by my side. At 16, she's girl next door, pretty medium height and curvy. Her teeth are even and pearly white. Long, honey blonde hair frames her friendly face. What with the powder blue baby tee that reads sassy in rhinestones and her faded denim cutoffs. Jenny looks like she was born and bred in Spirit, like a real small town girl. When we reach the theater, she persists in following me around back. Jenny leans against the doorway, coy, as I fish my keys out of my jean pockets. Big night, she observes. You nervous? No, I lied, unlocking the deadbolt. Once inside, I had it, and I'm not hiring. Really, Jenny asked, shoving a Santa Claus in the doorway. You mean you're going to run the projector, pop the corn, restock the concession stand, ring up food and drinks, vacuum the carpet, change the toilet paper, and do whatever managers do? Paperwork and bills all by yourself? Think about it, cowboy. How do you plan to sell tickets and handle concessions at the same time? On one hand, I don't want to encourage her. On the other, I don't need any trouble from her leaving pissed off. I don't need trouble, period. I wish you would just take off. I'm not opening the concession stand. Well, there goes your profits. You're charging what? $3 a show? I know people around here are cheap, but do you have any idea what, say, electricity alone is going to cost? It's summer. It's Texas. Think air conditioning. Honestly, I haven't considered that. It's not like I have an MBA or anything. I'm just I just graduated from high school a couple of weeks ago. I just I used to mow lawns in the summer, but this will be my first real job off the ranch. I may have been over ambitious. Plus, Jenny goes on, insurance, taxes, and you might want to advertise the place as a tourist attraction. The founders of Spirit were key players in the early days of Republic and historic tourism and becoming enough. She's a politics daughter, all right? Opening the door wider. Knowing I'll regret it, I said. Come in, we'll talk. Jenny quits as I lead her through the service hallway. It is hot in here, muggy. I wonder what, if anything, she knows about the building tragic history. Its lingering reputation. A teenage girl, Sonia Mitchell, was found dead in the storage closet in 1959. Another girl, Catherine something or other, Vol, maybe went missing for good. She was new in town like Jenny, and her body was never found. Both girls worked at the theater, and again, like Jenny, both girls were 16. Everyone hereabouts has heard the stories. Partiers have bursted in over the years, too, and every now and then a whole pack would run out hollering about a ghost. There's no denying that the theater has an eerie quality to it. Over the past week, I've seen the letter S running in the dust and wiped it away again and again. Once or twice, I could have sworn I heard a soft voice coming from somewhere in the building, enchanting musical feminine. I'm starting to hear it in my dreams. As Jenny and I entered the lobby, I don't give her the satisfaction of cranking the air conditioning immediately. Instead, I take in my new business, trying to see it custom the way tonight's customers will. It's a grand old place with a huge antique crystal chandelier built when cotton was king. Granted, the gold and crimson wallpaper faded, and the blood red carpet is worn. So are the red upholstered seats in the screening room, both on the main floor and up in the balconies. But there's still a romance to the place, a whisper of the past. Besides, my mom loved it. Every time we pass by, she says the old love was a ghost of the glory days of Spirit, a reminder of who we would been and could have become again. Do you know how to run a register? I asked Jenny, gesturing. She's already playing with it. I only have one set at the ticket counter. It's an older model that I ordered off of eBay. Jenny says, scanning the lobby before brightening. I know. We can lay out candy and popcorn on the counter and post prices and provide a box with a slot in it so that people can pay on the honor system like at the library for folks with fines on an overdue book. That wouldn't work in most places, and Spirit it'll do fine. There are some boxes in my office, I said, impressed despite myself. At that pause, I added, "Why do you want this job anyway?" Jenny shrugs. "I could use the money. That makes two of us. The thing about living forever, I suddenly need a long-term financial plan. I realized so far as Jenny is concerned, there aren't any other jobs within walking distance. I bet she used to have a flashy car. I bet it was repossessed. I can't help wondering if there's more to her being here than that. Not to be considerate, but I'm fairly good looking. I got mom's blue eyes."
Conceited, probably.
Conceited. Conceited.
Yeah, that's conceited.
Not to be conceited, but I'm fairly good looking. I have got mom's blue eyes, and they started standing out against my deep brown skin. Slick black hair, and the sharp features I inherited from whoever was my dad. I'm weary, but solid enough from working on Uncle Dean's ranch. Outside of Spirit, girls are always flirting, not that I know what to say back. The locals, on the other hand, they pity me. When my mom died, everyone said what a shame it was for me to be an orphan at only 10. They say my bruises in the years that followed. They saw my bruises in the years that followed, and they knew what Uncle Dean was like. For a long time, I thought sooner or later somebody would report him to social services, a preacher, a teacher, the school nurse, but it never happened. I guess most folks were more scared of Uncle Dean as I was. Jenny is looking at me with an oddly knowing smile, and I realize she's waiting for my decision. I can't help thinking she may be useful. I can't help wondering if she has a boyfriend, but spending quality time around the flesh and blood girl is in trances. INTRINSICALLY. Intrinsically problematic. The flesh is a problem. The blood is a problem. At any given moment, it's a toss-up which is worse. Okay, I said, "You're hired." The chandelier rattled, distracted us both. "Drafty," Jenny says, glancing around. "But where's it coming from?" She asks too many questions. I turned on the air conditioner. It's a lie. After a ridiculous amount of negotiation, I agreed to 10 cents above minimum wage. Send Jenny home to change into a white button-down shirt, black slacks, and black shoes, and tell her to come back in a couple of hours. Unlocking the door to my cramped office, I'm less than thrilled to realize that I need to hire a second person, someone local, quiet. QUIET, quiet, right?
Yes.
Within the next few years, I need to sew up in understanding with the good people of Spirit. They may not know what I am, but they'll figure it out over time. On the off chance that Jenny's daddy's revandalization.
Spell the word, baby.
REVITALIZATION.
Revitalization.
Plan works. I'll be here for generations. I need to reassure them that my presence is no more than threatening than the fact that Edwina, Edwina, Edwina.
That's the feminine to Edwin. You know, Edwin's the masculine name. Edwina is the feminine name.
The barge collects snow globes, or that Betty Muller talks to her dead husband, or that Miss Josephina and Miss Abigail has been roommates for more than 30 years. I'll need front people. I realize, so that customers who drive in from nearby towns don't notice that the young owner never seems to age. Inside the office, I hit the ceiling fan light and began shifting through the old newspapers and boxes looking for one that will do for the convenience stand. The headline of a yellowed copy of the Spirit sent it from June 13th, 1959 catches my eye. It reads, City mourns daughter, new girl missing. I lifted it, studying the black and white picture, Sonia's dimpled and laughing eyes. I traced the hairline around her lovely face, 16 forever. I never wanted to be that kind of monster that destroys innocence like that. Reaching into my small hall half fridge, I grabbed a bottle of blood, poured a quarter of it into a Texas A&M mug, and popped it into the microwave on the shelf. Seconds later, I closed my eyes, savoring the taste, pushing back the disgust. I've been this way for at least a few weeks. It's funny, I used to roll my eyes at all these media stories about the trouble kids get into on the internet. However, generation of grown-ups assumes that whatever is new, from flapper dresses to rock and roll to the World Wide Web, is automatically a sign of the apocalypse. My theory was that parenthood triggered amnesia followed by paranoia, though I had to admit it would have been nice to have someone who cared. Not long after Uncle Dean cracked one of my ribs, I heard Esko that there was this guy in Athens, Georgia selling a powder elixir on the net. I figured it was some kind of steroid cocktail. Probably risky, but it's not like my life was all that safe to begin with. Anyway, the guy supposedly supplied a vat of the stuff to the varsity team in El Paso that took state last year. It was so easy. I borrowed Uncle Dean's MasterCard and put in my order. The vial arrived overnight in a box packed with dried ice. I remember thinking as I unscrewed the cap, what the hell? Nothing could have been more appropriate. Blinking back the memory, I reached for the bottle to pour myself more blood. Someone has used a finger to write something in the condescending on the glass. It looks like the letter S. It wasn't there a moment ago. She's getting bolder, making a bolder play for my attention. It's flattering, I admit. Sonia, what do you think? Jenny asked, straining the newly poured paper cups on the concession stand counter. Not bad, I have to give her credit. And Jenny's make-do theater uniform, complete with ponytail. She looked like the picture of an all-American wholesomeness. She also had her mom swing by Walmart 2 towns north, and they picked up ice, several 2-liter plastic bottles of Coke, Diet regular Dr. Pepper, Sprite, and several discounted package of candy bars. It's quite the display of enthusiasm, a spirit, you might say. She grins and grabs a black marker to write out prices and instructions for paying on the honor system. Jenny bought the marker and poster board with her too. I set the box from my office on the counter before she got back. It's already been wrapped in a bright gold paper, another Walmart purchase. My gaze lands on the skin over her jugular. Luckily for Jenny, I'm able to buy fresh shipped provisions from the same site that sold me the original dose. That night, I buried my uncle's body behind the barn. I received an email from the vendors telling me I qualify for special customer status and giving me a code to log in for future purchases. What I found was a series of pages within the site that included a long question and answer document about our kind, information on how to mix various blood and wine blends, and from there, an online dating service, Love That Lasts, extended to all registered members at no additional fee. I admit to clicking through it, despite everything, amused by the ads for growing your fangs and shrinking your thighs and finding your internal consort. I have no intention of going there. I may be an easy mark, helping to finance some other friend's long-term retirement, but what I got what I wanted. But I got what I wanted. Now I can defend myself against anyone. I just had no idea the price would be so high. Looking out the theater window onto Main Street, I'm pleased to see a line has already formed. A handful of teenagers and a county deputy with his wife. This week I'm showing Phantom of the Opera. I scheduled the haunting with Vincent Price, Ghostbusters, and Ghosts for the 3 weeks that after that. I'm taking advantage of the place spooky rap. I hope Sonya don't mind that. Doesn't mind. More and more whenever I fix a loose board or vacuum the carpet or add cream caramel potpourri to the ladies' room. Potpourri to the ladies' room. I can't help wondering if Sonya approves. I can't help feeling like I'm trying to impress her. School has been out for a couple of weeks now. The newness of summer has already worn off. Football players and cheerleaders are in double practices, but they done by sundown and eager to blow off steam. I should be able to pack in the locals and folks from nearby towns, if only because there's nothing better to do. 3 minutes. I now noticing that the line outside is longer now. Much of it is curiosity, I'm sure, but I can build on that. That long, Jenny exclaims, propping up the sun. The ice will melt. The ice will be all right. You're doing fine. I can stay in the sunlight through the weekend seems to weaken me. Just like Jenny's bright smile, she has skipped towards the ticket counter and then with a whoa goes flailing. Without thinking, I pour on the supernatural speed in time to stop her fall. Jenny studies herself with a hand on my shoulder. Where did you come from? During life, I didn't have friends at my age. Not in person friends, anyway. Just some friends I chatted with on the internet. It never occurred to me that I feel pulled towards someone now. I know better than to care. I asked anyway, are you okay? I guess, she straightens. I could have sworn I tripped over something. We both glanced down at the smooth red carpet. Jenny's doing a bang up job at the register. She's all yes ma'am and yes sir with all the grown ups and capable with the teens and charming, reassuring that despite the haunted theater and its murderous history, the ghost movie theme is tongue in cheek. We're all just having fun here. Meanwhile, I'm serving up another row of cokes. It's great. With a great honor system, I don't really have to interact with the customers. At least not until the deputy shoves a couple of rolled up dollars into the bucket and says, young Mr. Starker, isn't it? Yes, sir. I keep my voice level. I've never been in trouble with the law. In fact, I'm known as decent enough as someone who's had a hard life, but who's reasonably graduated with honors. Welcome to the old love, deputy. How's your uncle doing? He asked, grabbing a Coke and a couple of milk duds and a package of regulars. Some boys at Hank's Roadhouse were asking about him. I knew that sooner or later questions would come. It hurts to be reminded that Uncle Dean had buddies, that there was a better side to him. I only glanced on the rare holiday or when he be saw a big buck. I swallowed the lump in my throat, make a show of a glance both ways and meet Doty's eyes did on lower my eyes. I amp my draw to mattress between you and me. The answer is answering not as sharp. I'm thinking he's finally pissed off the wrong man. Hale tailed it to Morris's before the guy came after him. Didn't even say goodbye. The deputy takes that in. Good riddance, he murmurs as he starts to walk off. Then after handing the coat to his wife, he turns back to me and adds, I'm glad to see you making something out of yourself. Your mama was a fine woman. For a while, I poured more drinks and offer a hey or howdy now and then as customers make their selections and pay. But it's not before I notice the ruckus at the ticket counter. Ben, please, Jenny said, her voice raising. I got customers. Ben Mauler was a year behind me in high school. His older brother plays football for Baylor. His mom teaches at the elementary school, and his daddy owns a used car dealership on the highway. His granddaddy, Derek Mauler, died 2 years of a heart attack after serving as sheriff for 4 decades. Decades is 10 years.
1 decade is 10 years, so 4 decades will be 40 years.
Ben himself is popular, a solid, all-around athlete and church-going. I only know him by reputation, but he smirks a lot and looks like one of those fun, gullible blonde guys on the CW. Problem, Jenny? I ask, approaching. Ben laughs, and the sound is angry bitter. Are you a freak too? Behind him, Tracia, Tricia, Tracia.
Yes, I never heard.
The lady who owns the beauty shop is whispering with her best friend Marty. They're the unofficial news hotline. If the Olaf becomes known as a place for wild young hoodlums, it's all over. I got to deal with this fast and without making a bigger scene. Ben, please, Jenny says again, you have to pay or leave. Fine, Ben replies, but just know that I grabbed his arm and I can tell he's surprised by the strength of my grip. I stare at him and I realize that I'm a couple of inches taller. According to the FAQ in my blood dealer site, some of us have the power to enthrall the traumatized or weak-willed. It's worth a try. Keeping my voice steady, I say, you're going to take off now. I'm going to take off now, Ben repeats. Pivots on his boot and strolls out the front door. I'm surprised that it worked. Again, I don't know Ben well, but I never tagged him as weak. And as for trauma, anyone would tell he's led a charmed life. My hero, Jenny exclaims in the real appreciation in her voice. Then she beams at the two ladies next in line. May I help y'all? After the last customer settles and I get Phantom of the Opera running up from the projector room. Then I heard Jenny call my name. She sounds shocked, terrified. I half fly downstairs and burst through the swinging doors into the ladies' room where she's pointing at "Get Out" written on the mirror in plum-colored lipstick. It wasn't there before we opened. I didn't notice anyone walking to the room before the movie started. From the look on her face, I'm pretty sure Jenny didn't do it, but the color on the letter matches her lips. She grabs the tube from the counter. It's mine, she confirms. It was in my purse. She stashed the purse in my office for her. I stashed the purse in my office for her when Jenny returned this evening. It must have been Sonia. I didn't know she could do that, move objects. In any case, it's starting to look like she wants to keep the place to herself. I don't understand. We're still getting to know each other, but it was going so well. A dumb joke, I say to reassure Jenny. Let's get it cleaned up. Jenny opens the small storage cabinet to grab a spray bottle, glass cleaner, and roll papers. What did you do to Ben? She asks in a measured voice. I realize how sloppy I've been. If I wanted to stay above suspicion, I'm going to have to learn how to deal with people, especially run-of-the-mill troublemakers without using my powers. No more enthralling for that matter. No more super speed. I answered the question with a question. What's going on between you and Ben? Jenny begins spraying the glass. Can I trust you? It's a bigger question than she realized. I'm not sure I know the answer. You can talk to me, I say. Ask anyone. I'm no gossip. That's true enough. She goes to peek out the bathroom door to ensure no one is listening well. Wait, let's go to my office. It has a lock and no one can hear us. What about, she just 10 minutes after, we'll say it was the ghost. Ghosts are the way I felt her on the history, characterizing the haunting as local folklore. From Jenny's severe expression, I figure she either finds the idea of ghosts offensive or blasphemy, or at that moment invested in more of a corporal issue. I let us in, take the desk chair and wait, trying not to let my impatient impatient show. We can't stay in here long with the door closed. She's still a mine after all. There's something about her, though, some strange connection between us. I said more words to Jenny today than I probably have said to anyone in the year. Jenny crossed her arms. I don't know the people of Spirit that well yet. Nowhere nearly as well as they know each other. I didn't know about Ben. I leaned forward to clear newspapers off a crate for her to sit down. What about him? She takes a seat. We went to prom together. Ben got a motel on the highway afterward. I thought it meant one thing. He thought it meant, I understand. I say a lot of guys have expectations about prom. I can't help wondering how badly Ben took no for an answer. The fact that he was still hassling Jenny tonight suggests this. It was an ugly scene. I had to crawl out of the bathroom window, she asked. It could have been worse. You want me to walk you home tonight? Yes. Jenny pauses, straining again. No, I'm fine. It's just I never meant for things to turn out this way. I never thought going on one lousy date would haunt you forever. I asked. She visibly curious. How did you know? My uncle face lives across my memory. Call it a hunch. Once the last happy customer leaves, Jenny skips across the lobby with a large trash bag. Let's get this over with and go celebrate. With that, she flashes that sunshine grin and disappears into the screening room. Celebrate. I'm going to have to sit her down and explain that we're employer, and that we can't ever be anything more. Except she could use a friend right now. Hang on, I said. Let me help you. I grabbed the bag, and it dawned on me that I should probably hit the restroom first. So I head down the hall, my steps slowing when I heard the mysterious voice again. Sonia. Then her singing again. Is that her singing? Sonia. I let the plastic bag slip from my fingers onto the red carpet and began walking faster in the direction of the sound. It's louder and clearer with each step I take. I heard that song before. Spirit only gets 3 radio stations, one in Spanish, one that plays country western, and one that plays golden oldies. It's a 1950s. To know him is to love him. It's kind of sweet and kind of inspired. And once you heard it, it's hard to get it out of your head for the rest of the night. The voice leads me to the door of a dingy break room that, in the push toward the grand reopening, I decided to worry about later. I'm reaching for my keys when the supposed locked door opens on its own. Inside, the temperature is cooler, much cooler than it should be, especially when the vents shut. I'm greeted by the sight of a sink and cabinet, an empty space where a full-size refrigerator used to be, a beat-up table big enough for 6 and 5 metal chairs. The voice is coming from one of the 10 rusty half lockers against the wall. Half lockers lying against a wall. I hold my breath, but breathing is optional. What are you trying to tell me? When I open the locker, it's empty. The voice grows louder. The room is cold. From behind, I hear something smack the table. Turning fast, I see the dust still flying up from where the little cloth-bound book landed. I walked over, and the song disputes with each step I make, ending all together when I pick up it's a diary. I flip through the entries, each signed with the letter S. I flip to an old photo of a lovely dark-haired girl, The same girl whose photo is on the page of the 1959 copy of The Spirit Centennial in my office. She's cuddling a tabby cat. Amazing. After a lifetime as alone, I suddenly have two new girls in my life. Jenny is easy enough to figure out, but Sonia, the singing, the diary, even the mysterious as here and there all seem a lot more welcoming than the get out in the bathroom. Does she really want me to leave, or is she just playing along with the haunted theater theme? A moment later, from across the building, Jenny cries out again. When I reach the screening room, she clutches her right forearm. Blood is dripping through her fingers. I can smell it. I can almost taste it. I feel my fangs slide. I pause to regain control. I said, calling Jenny like I can't spot her toward the front bent in the aisles. Over here, she says, straining her face covered by her honey-colored hair. I jog over to her side. What happened? Did you cut yourself on a chair? They're old, and their heavy cushion seats fold down, and she could have torn her skin on a spring. No. Jenny lifted her hands from her arm to show me three short, deep scratches. They look like fingernail marks, sounding satisfied yet. It was like being clawed by the wind. Hey, I'm reading Immortal Love Stories with Bite. Haunted Love. It's about an old theater right now. Sonia, I catch my lips licking my lip. You need stitches. Let's know. Jenny says, it's fine. I was just surprised. It's scar. I insist. Jenny, give me your shirt. She counters. What? Your shirt so I can use it to, apply direct pressure. Embarrassed by the misunderstanding, I already unbuttoned by the time she finished the sentence. I folded the material as fast as I could and tied it around her arm. My hero, Jenny says again. She rises on her toes to kiss my cheek, and losing her balance, her lips lingered on my throat instead. About that celebration. Go home, Jenny, I said, moving away. She looked stricken like the child she is, but I lighted my tone. I mean, you best be getting home. I watched her walk up the aisle, fuming, and disappeared out the door. Then a disembodied voice, soft, musical, and furious whispers in my ear, murderer, murderer, murderer. Later at my uncle's ranch, I walked up to his unmarked grave behind the barn. I buried him deep, wrapped in a Mexican blanket. The ground is bare, packed hard. I try to tell myself it's more fitting that he's here instead of at the old cemetery in town. Uncle Dean loved his land as much as he was capable of loving anything. The grave unsettles me, though. No stone, no cross. He may not have been a good man, but he was my mom's big brother. As dawn approaches, I shake off the guilt and go inside. Now I'm surfing the web at the dining room table, drinking microwave heated blood and researching ghosts. Sonia's history does track what I have learned so far. Her death was traumatic. Her murderer was never caught. In the spirit world, that's textbook unfinished business, a reason to haunt, and it's clear that Sonia wants me to know who she is. Writing her initial and giving me the diary are clear enough hints. According to the newspaper article, though, Sonia was a sweetheart. She used to teach Sunday school and run errands for her elderly neighbors. A quick skim of the diary, prepared with initials, confirms that she was a good-hearted girl with a loopy handwriting and a typical teen English. Homework, a boy D, a rival K. She adored Elvish E. Had a kitten named Paso P, and collected toys at Christmas for the poor. Maybe Sonia thinks I'm a threat to Jenny and wants me to know she's on to me. I'm not sure why she attacked Jenny though. Maybe in her ghostly state Jenny's confused, or maybe she's trying to protect Jenny by scaring her off. I guess there's always the possibility that the old love is home to more than one ghost. Catherine, the girl who went missing, is probably Kay. According to the diary, she and Sonia didn't get along in life, but there's no hard evidence of more than one entry in the singing voice that led me to Sonia's diary in the break room matched the accusing one that whispered murderer. Besides, how many dead people could possibly be hanging around in the place? In any case, I can't overlook the lipstick message on or the fact that Jenny was injured. If I can't somehow convince Sonia or whomever that I'm not dangerous, I'll need to force her out. Either that or my effort to resurrect resurrect the old love is over. The question is how. I'm in no position to be calling a minister or priest. Worse, the ghost who spoke is right. I can be lethal. I have killed once before. I take another swig of blood and notice that my old caller ID is blinking. Ben Muller. He didn't leave a message. Why would Ben call here? Does he seriously think Jenny came home with me last night? It's not like I got any kind of rub with girls. Then again, he knows Jenny better than I do. And considering the way she kissed my neck, still calling after the way they fought earlier, that's stalker behavior. Maybe Sonia's right to fret Jenny's safety, only she's worried about the wrong guy. The following evening, patrolling the theater hall, I don't hear any singing. I don't step on into a cold spot. I don't see a fresh letter as written anywhere. Today I was the one who fetched refreshments. I'm also making some calls. Order a regular shipment of candy, popcorn, and Coke. Tonight I have to put Sonia to rest. Jenny comes bounding into the lobby at 7 p.m. sharp. She's wearing a different white shirt. Its sleeves down and buttoned at the wrist. How's your arm? I asked from the concession stand. Jenny shrugs. It looked worse than it was. And Ben, I pressed, has he bothered you again? She glanced at the front doors. Not today. It's been that I heard Sonia whisper murderer in my ear again. No, I exclaimed, and Jenny expressed added, not you. I ran a hand through my hair, frustrated. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to leave. We're not opening tonight. There's someone here that is going to sound crazy, but she's a ghost. Jenny raises her scratch drum. Yeah, I already figured out that much. And personally, I say we exercise the bitch. Well, that was the last reaction I would have expected. I can't help admiring Jenny's bravery, though. Maybe we could have a future after her if we're willing to fight for it. I glanced at my mom's Bible wrapped in a kitchen towel on the concession stand. I don't know whether I'll burst into flames if I touch it. I don't know what I'm doing at all. Even though Sonia lashed out at Jenny, I can't help having mixed feelings about taking her on. After all, I'm no innocence. And all by account she used to be. Seriously, let's do it now. Jenny takes a step in my direction, only to be violently shoved back by a whirlwind. A fierce wall of air separated us. Cups and candy and cups fly off the counter, splattering cold. A blood splash appeared on Jenny's forehead. The crystal chandelier shakes and sways. Sonia, I shouted, trying to reach Jenny. Sonia, please, listen to me. You're making a mistake. You don't see you're hurting her. Murderer, returned Sonia's voice, louder than mine. Murderer, do I have to admit it? Is that all it takes? Jenny is not on her back. She's struggling like she's being choked by invisible hands. She kicks with both legs, then she lifts spawns and dropped again. I reached for the Bible and letting go as pain flashed across against my fingertips. I don't understand. Sonia knows that I'm the monster. Why target Jenny, not me? For a split second, I wonder if Sonia is jealous. if the girls are fighting over me, but then Sonia wails, murderer, murderer again. You're right, Sonia. You're right. I never intended to kill my uncle, even though sooner or later he probably would have killed me. I just wanted to become stronger, stronger enough to protect myself. I didn't know the bloodlust would come with the strength. I gained control of it. I haven't gained control. Sonia, stop, please. Punish me. I resigned to face her judgment when Ben tears into my lobby from the service hall. He has a battle axe in one hand, and dear God, the decapitated heads of Jenny's parents by the hair in the other. Ben tosses them onto the red carpet. Howdy, Jenny. Has Sonia possessed him? Has he lost his mind? Jenny is on her knees, her head bent, her hands covered her face. She's an easy target. Murderer, murderer, murderer. Sonia charges again. Ben hesitates, his gaze searches for the speaker. Sonia, a box of milk duds that will whizzes by. I wanted to help. I need to, but the supernatural wind is holding me back. Let her go. He'll kill her. Jenny looks so small, huddled on the red carpet. We've known each other only a couple of days, but she's brought sunshine into my life and made me feel like I belong in the glow. It's not love, it's the hope of love. But it's the closest I ever come to it since I've been 10 years old. If Jenny wants me, how can I be a monster? I reach for the Bible again and hold it over my head, ignoring the pain. In the name of I raise my voice, started again. In the name of the Father, the Son, with a roar, Jenny raises her face. Her mask of innocence melts away, and I see her for what she really is, undead, demonic, like a vampire. I drop the Bible, clench my blistered hands. Jenny. Ben looks from her to me, like he's trying to figure out whose side am I on. I was going to tell you, Jenny, says, her voice pleading. When your profile shows up on the systems, I thought it was a sign of shoulder jerks. Suck. I want the kind of love that lasts forever. Love that lasts. She's talking about the blood dealers matchmaking service. Jenny must have had the same supplier. Sonia, I said, don't you have anything better to do? You were a loser in life. You were still a loser now. I told you this town will be mine someday. Murderer, Sonia replies. Kate's murderer. So Jenny was the one who killed Sonia. Sonia was never trying to scare her off to protect her from me. Sonia said murderer. I wasn't the one she was talking about. Jenny had been Catherine, the girl whose body was never found. From her crouched position, Jenny longs at Ben as a flush swat of blood appears across her torso, staining the white shirt. She knocks the axe from his hand and kicks his boots out from underneath him. He's no match for her. Jenny can't fight Sonia, but she couldn't tear Ben apart. Let me help him, I said, and the ghostly voice dies as quickly as it rose. I vowed over the concession stand and swapped the axe from the carpet and started staying between them for a moment. I see the hope in Jenny's eyes. Unlike Ben, she knows that I'm one of her kind. She's already admitted that she wants me. She's already called me her hero. Twice. I slowly shake my head, leaving no doubt about my intentions. You wouldn't. Jenny breathes as reality sinks in. She's been bitten by me. Sonia and Ben together. Her voice is resigned. Her last words are, Daddy's had such big pain hands. I serve her head with the blade and shaking drop the axe handle. After it's done moment, Ben climbs to his feet and puts a hand on my shoulder. You okay, man? Better now. You? She came after me on prom night. I've been trying to run her out of town ever since. Our town. Ben is spirit. I'm spirit. God knows Sonia is spirit. Jenny was the new girl again, this time with a new name. I try to warn her off, Ben said. I try to scare her off. I went to my family for help, but nobody believed me. She didn't seem like a vampire, you know. Yeah, I know. What happened here will stay here with Ben for a long time. He isn't the kind of a person who can destroy someone else even something else, without it weighing on him. I know how he feels and then some. It's been 2 weeks since that night, since the last time I noticed any sign of Sonia. I already miss her. I'm sorry for having doubted her goodness and that I'm the monster who killed her with who killed her will never hurt anyone again. Ben and I burned Jenny's and her parents' bodies heads to behind my barn. We buried the eggs which he taken from the mayor's office near my uncle. Come spring, you might sprinkle some off flower seed on the graves, he said. I mean, there are human beings once. I said I would and made a mental note to sprinkle seeds on Uncle Dean's grave too. The next day, Ben fiddled to his Aunt Betty's that the Augustines had packed up and left in the middle of the night for some six-figure job that the mayor landed on up north. Ben explained that Jenny told him that her dad was too embarrassed to own up to running out on the town after all his big promises. He claimed that that's what their spat in the ticket line had been about. Betty repeated the story the next day at the beauty shop, and it's becoming common knowledge since. The deputy is circulating a petition to put his own name on a mayoral ballot. I signed it last week. Turns out Ben's not a bad guy. His granddaddy, Sheriff Drake Muller, had been the vampire hunter who originally chased the Augustines out of town back in the day. The sheriff had passed on what he learned to Ben, so Ben would have known what to do if the homicidal undead ever swung back through town. Ben has decided to work at the Old Love and save up for college. Apparently, being a good athlete by spirit standards isn't necessarily the same as being scholarship material. Facing down the undead has grown him up a lot. He doesn't know what I am, not yet. He took it well when I explained about Sonia. I hope that when the day comes when he realizes I'm not just another hometown boy, he thinks back on what happened and gives me the benefit of the doubt. Tonight, after the Ghostbusters saved New York City, I thanked Ben for a good night's work, locked the front door behind him, and once again heard Sonia singing, "To know him is to love him, is to love him." When I look towards the voice, I see Sonia herself for the first time. She's taken over one of my jobs, wiping down the concession stand like it's no big deal. Sonia is a see-through figure in a uniform, not much different than the one Jenny wore, except that Sonia's includes a red vest with a gold patch that reads "Love Theater." I didn't realize she was still here. I don't get it. With Jenny gone for good, why stick around, Sonia? She raised her head. I see the dimple, then laughing. "Cody, Sonia," I said, in case she didn't understand what happened. "Your murderer has been destroyed. It's over. You can move on now. You can go into the light." Sonia tilted her head. It wasn't all about justice. Her voice said in a hollow quality to it. "Tell me, Cody, do you believe in love at first sight?" Staring at me, "God help me. I just might read on the web that the more you believe in it goes, the stronger your feelings for them, the more substantial they become." With each passing second, Sonia appeared more solid, more alive than I have to admit. In some ways, we would be perfect for each other. We're both tied to this old theater. We'll both be teenagers forever, and we'll both be dead. Even better, I don't have to worry about physically hurting her. No flesh, no blood, no problem. This couldn't become more than the hope of love. It could become the real thing, but there's something she has to be told first. She may not know what happened at my uncle's ranch, but I thought she'd figure out what I am from the bottle of blood in the office mini fridge. I guess Sonia didn't realize that what the liquid was, or maybe in her ghostly state, some details are fuzzy. "Sonia," I began again as she close to me, "there's something you should know. She know I am a monster, the same kind of monster. Her cool fingers, her tips pressed against my lips. In her gaze, I see complete understanding and total acceptance. No, Sonia said. You're not. That's the end of immortal, haunted love. We will go on to Amber Smoke, Kristen's cast story of immortal love stories with Bite. I hope you all have a good night. Bye. Love you.